So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today for this historic event between the government of Hungary and state of Indiana. To begin the program and talk a little bit more about the history of our MOU and relationship, I'd like to invite Indiana Secretary of Commerce, Jim Schellinger.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here today with us. Last June, the governor had the pleasure of traveling to Budapest and met with Minister Szijjártó and signed an MOU for economic cooperation. Indiana and Hungary, we share many similarities from automotive, agriculture, life science and tourism, and water management. We had so many positive and productive discussions while in Hungary and committed to strengthening our ties through this memorandum of understanding for economic cooperation. Over the past year, we have focused on working groups on both sides, on the Hungarian side and on the Indiana side, and we've had meetings to collaborate our efforts in those market sectors I just mentioned. And today we are honored to be here today to announce yet another step forward in the partnership with Hungary and two of renowned universities who will now collaborate to expand educational ties between Indiana and Hungary. I would like to invite the governor and the Minister Szijjártó to sign an agreement in support of this new partnership between the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, Indiana, and the Pázmány Péter Catholic University in Budapest, Hungary. This agreement will expand the university's informal relationship as a part of their work. Notre Dame will help develop new technology faculty, PhD programs in chemical and mechanical engineering in Hungary, while select courses from the Catholic University will be available from Hungary to the University of Notre Dame in South Bend. Governor, Minister.
Great. And at this time, I'd like to invite Governor Holcomb to make a few brief remarks.
Thank you, Minister Szijjártó. It's so good to see you again. I think about just how fast time flies. It was a little over a year ago when we were in Budapest, and I've been waiting for the opportunity to return that famous Hungarian hospitality with our very own brand of that, Hoosier Hospitality. So good to see you. As we discussed in Budapest with such incredible views and company, we talked about how Indiana has become globally recognized as the best place to do business in the Midwest. At least I was saying that, as you can imagine and recall, but also a top investment place in the country. Ranking 5 by all measures, and that international reputation has taken many years to establish, but it's preceded by our reputation as having global influence that traces back to our universities, and we're especially proud of all that Notre Dame has meant to Indiana. I had the honor of retracing the footsteps dating back 175 years from small town, hamlet if you will, Vincennes, Indiana, up toward South Bend, where Notre Dame exists now. And Father Soren predicted that Notre Dame would one day have a powerful influence for good. And you talk about the understatement of a couple centuries. Notre Dame has gone on to do so much good, not just for the citizens of the state of Indiana, but for global citizens all over the world. And so never a truer prediction has ever been spoken, at least in my opinion. And so it just makes perfect sense that Notre Dame and Posmany Peter Catholic University would join forces for the good. And it's a real honor for me to have this formalized on my watch, and it just builds on our relationship, Indiana and Hungary, and all that we have set in motion. But this really is that foundation. We talked in Budapest about government-to-government relations and people-to-people relations and business-to-business, and this is exactly what we had set out to do and are doing today. And so we'll continue to look for ways to build upon this, but just an incredibly important next step for us to take together. And with that, I invite you to share some words yourself. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you so much. Governor, Secretary, dear colleagues and excellencies, we are grateful to experience the hospitality extended to us. Unfortunately, this is life of foreign ministers. We only spend a couple hours in certain locations, but what I know for sure is that once I have to come back here when I have a little bit more time, hopefully not very soon, in order to have some more insights about this wonderful city, including that wonderful stadium and the canal and the downtown here. We fell in love with Indianapolis without a doubt in the recent couple hours for sure. As you know, I'm representing here a small Central European country which had to face so many tremendous challenges throughout history. But these challenges and this history have taught us how important it is to have friends and to have real friends. And during the last visit, the recent visit of the governor and the secretary, we found true friends. And although we have signed very important documents, we have decided in favor of a very important cooperation. But having new friends is even more important than that. That time we signed an agreement about the economic cooperation, which since then we have been implementing. And now we have come to a point where a very important agreement was signed from the perspective of our country, since Hungary is in a very tough competition in Central Europe. Central Europe is the most competitive region in Europe, the growth engine of Europe. We are political allies, but economically speaking, in Central Europe, we are competitors to each other. And in order to be successful under the always changing circumstances of the world, we have to be strong on training, and we have to be strong on university activities. That's why for us it's of utmost importance to be able to build a cooperation between one of the most prestigious and one of the most well-known universities here in the United States. Notre Dame enjoys a great respect in Hungary, not only because of the fighting Irish, not only because of the Catholic heritage. You know, we are a Christian country, so such kind of things are very important for us, but because of the level of standards you represent as a school and as having such respected training programs. It is pretty much telling that the Hungarian counterpart is the Catholic University of Budapest. It is pretty much telling that the course the Catholic University will start running hopefully on the campuses on the campus of Notre Dame is a course accredited in the Vatican. And we are very happy that the courses to be launched by the Notre Dame University will serve the interest of national economy and the interest of improving our competitiveness, since the chemical engineering, the construction engineering, and the mechanical engineering will be taught on the courses and on the faculties of Notre Dame on our Catholic University. So this is a great day from the perspective of cooperation between Hungary and Indiana, a great day from the perspective of the cooperation between Notre Dame and the Catholic University of Budapest, and another great day from the perspective of the relationship between US and Hungary, which relationship is going through a renaissance, as we have been able to improve our political relationship to the level of the economic and defense cooperation. And this improvement was pretty much as a consequence of the last and recent visit of the governor and the secretary, who took it very seriously, that they wanted to improve the bilateral relationship between these two wonderful countries, which we have been successful so far. So once again, Governor and Secretary, we really do appreciate your friendship. We do appreciate your openness to cooperate with us, and that will contribute a lot to the competitiveness of both of ours. Thank you so much once again.
So this concludes the signing portion of our ceremony. I'm excited to move into a great honor, as we will have awards given by the President of Hungary that have been bestowed on both the Governor and Secretary. So at this time, gentlemen, if I could ask you to please stand here in front of the table, and I'll invite His Excellency Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Peter Szijjártó, back to the podium.
I really do apologize for abusing your time even more, but as I told you, for us, friendship is extremely important, and we value a lot the efforts of those who really contribute to the success of our country and who really build friendship between United States, an ally of Hungary, and ourselves. And after the visit of Governor and Secretary, and after the very professional way of implementation of our economic cooperation agreement, after the 96% growth on our trade last year, after the 44% growth in the first quarter of this year regarding our bilateral trade, after the continuous decisions of companies in Indiana and if affiliated to Indiana to invest more in Hungary and to show more trust to the Hungarian people. After understanding that both of us are standing up for the same values, we believe in a forward progress through work and performance. We really believe in the importance of protecting our Judeo-Christian heritage. The belief of both of ours in the importance of the transatlantic relationship. We understood that there is something more in this relationship than just in an ordinary government-to-government cooperation. You know, Hungary has never been part of the US bashing chorus in Europe. We always respected the decisions of the American people, because we believe in democracy. We believe more in democracy than those who say they believe in democracy and criticize you all the way down. We really respect the fact that our men and women in military are serving shoulder to shoulder in very dangerous parts of the world, and we understand that this strategic alliance has a much bigger, much greater significance than for the first sight. And we value the efforts of the governor and the secretary very much, as they have always shown fair approach towards Hungary, even when it was not the mainstream. And you can realize friends under challenging period of time. When there's everything's going well, it's easy to be friends. But when there are challenging times and you find friends, that's quite something. Governor and secretary have always made everything in favor of improving the bilateral relationship, and they have always shown trust and respect towards Hungary. And that's why the President of Hungary has made a decision and tasked me to hand over state award to the governor and to the secretary the middle cross of the Merit of Order of Hungary, based on the work you both have done in order to improve our bilateral relationship. As I'm handing over these two awards to you, I have the honor to address the past and the future as well, because this award is recognition of the past as having such an achievement you have made so far, but is a request as well for the future to keep on doing as you have been doing so far. So, Governor, it is my honor to hand over to you the middle cross of the Order of Hungary, and this is the certification signed by the Hungarian President, which shows that what I have said is in the regular. Secretary, let me take this opportunity and honor to hand over to you the middle cross of the Merit Order of Hungary and the certificate signed by the President.
And at this time, to read the formal citation, I'd like to invite Deputy State Secretary Gabor Szabó to the podium, please.
We have gathered today to celebrate the flourishing cooperation between Hungary and the state of Indiana, home for thousands of American citizens of Hungarian descent. This excellent relationship could not exist without the dedicated support of the Governor of Indiana, His Excellency Eric Joseph Holcomb. Governor Holcomb was born in Indiana. During the course of his esteemed professional career, the governor has worked tirelessly for the benefit of Indiana. In addition to putting great emphasis on the economic growth and prosperity of his state, the governor also finds it crucial to enhance the quality of the state's higher education system, thus to provide students with a degree that fits the demands of the changed environment. With the support of Governor Holcomb, Hungary concluded a Memorandum of Understanding on Economic Cooperation with the state of Indiana on the 14th of June 2017. The newly signed agreement between Hungary and the state of Indiana on cooperation in the field of higher education represents another milestone, enabling Pázmány Péter Catholic University and the Notre Dame University to forge ever closer links between those two distinguished higher education institutions. In recognition of his outstanding efforts in promoting Hungarian-American cooperation to further develop the relations between Hungary and the state of Indiana, the President of the Republic of Hungary, János Áder, has bestowed upon Governor Holcomb the Knight's Cross of the Order of Merit of Hungary. James A. Schellinger, the Secretary of Commerce of the state of Indiana, was born and raised in South Bend, Indiana. In his capacity, Secretary Schellinger is dedicated to creating thousands of jobs, generating new opportunities for working families, and accelerating economic growth in the state of Indiana. He also attaches great importance to the continuous improvement of the cultural and educational relations of the state. As a proud alumnus of Notre Dame University, Secretary Schellinger has actively facilitated the newly signed agreement between Hungary and the state of Indiana on cooperation in the field of higher education. In recognition of his valuable contribution to promoting Hungarian-American ties to further develop the trade and economic cooperation between Hungary and the state of Indiana, the President of the Republic of Hungary, János Áder, has bestowed upon Secretary Schellinger the Knight's Cross of the Order of Merit of Hungary.
Delegation will do a photo with the Governor and Foreign Minister here in front of the table. So if we can have all our guests and delegation members please line up on each side.